Hey everyone, we're going to do something a little different. I want to share a few videos about the stories behind my guitars. What brought this on was I have a confession. I was thinking about selling my little Simon and Patrick 3/4 size guitar, but I changed my mind. I'm going to keep Simon because um, there's memories attached. Every musician, from beginner to professional, has stories, memories, feelings attached to their instruments. And I know I love hearing the stories behind a musician's instrument. And I've seen musicians where there's literal holes in the body of the guitar and they're still strumming away on the thing. That is so cool to me because they just won't part with it. They love it so much and it's been a part of them and who they are for so long. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to share the stories of mine? Because I do have stories of mine. And this guy in particular he's the kingpin of my guitar family. This is Al, and Al was my Alvarez guitar. He was my very first real guitar, we'll say. And he's still in beautiful shape. Look at it. I mean, there's a few nicks here and there. You know, I got a little bit here, just above the pick guard. But that's just from playing. And, you know, those are war wounds, and those are good scars. They all tell stories. So growing up, music was always a part of my upbringing. As I've mentioned in other posts on the page, the Arsenal side in particular, always have music at family parties, around the campfire, camping growing up. Most weekends, music would just break out. Dad would start singing, my aunts and cousins would start singing, usually not the uncles. And that was without any instruments. But the biggest influence, and I think where my love of guitar comes from, is our friend Kevin. And Kevin Dishart is a wonderful musician locally. His daughter Sarah's a wonderful musician. And whenever Kevin was around growing up, even still, there's a guitar. And it's an acoustic. So I attribute my love for the acoustic guitar probably to him, because really, that I can think of, it's the first instrument sound that I experienced in person, right? And the acoustic guitar has always drawn me in. I love the look, I love the sound, I love the feel, I love how it sinks into my soul. That's my favorite kind of music. So growing up, I always wanted to learn to play a guitar, but it just sort of took a backseat for some reason. I had a little guitar as a kid. It was just like a kid-sized guitar. I think Mom got it from a yard sale. It had 4 or 5 strings, completely out of tune. I never got a tuner. I never learned a thing, never took a lesson. The odd time it would come out of the closet, I'd strum, make a little bit of noise, trying to make something good sounding, and then I'd put it back. And that's all it was. It was just there. I don't know why it never manifested into something else, but it just didn't. And so Dad would always tell stories about, besides singing around the fire, Dad sang at weddings when I was growing up, and he performed in front of his high school multiple times. So I hear those stories too. And so I started to kind of follow in those footsteps growing up, where grade 8 was really the time where it started to come about as something that was a part of me. When I won the talent show in grade 8, we had a talent show. I won the grand prize of $5. And that was pretty cool. And then from there, I started to sing at some weddings for family and friends and stuff. So that was neat. But I still had that desire to learn how to play guitar. So towards the end of high school, my cousin Daryl had a guitar. He taught himself. He became a great musician. And it made me go, hey, it's possible. It's possible to do it even without taking lessons. You can learn and be a good guitar player. And so, and of course, I just had the desire to be good enough to play around the campfire for family. Like when Kevin would come and play, I just want that. I want those experiences and those memories. So it wasn't long after Shauna and I got together, and I said, you know what? I'm going to save up a couple $100. Like, I need to do this. I need to save up a couple $100, get just a cheap guitar. I don't care how good or bad it is, and I want to learn. And then if I enjoy it and I like it and I get good at it, I can buy something better. So fast forward to that same Christmas. It was probably almost a year later. It's probably early in the year, I think, when I said that to Shauna. We're at my in-laws' house, unwrapping gifts, and it was towards the end of all the presents under the tree. And my mother-in-law goes down the hall to the bedroom. She comes out, and she's carrying this big thing with a blanket, and she's walking towards me. So I go, okay. So she sets it down, and I take the blanket off, and there's this hard shell guitar case, and my heart stopped. And I'm just looking around like, no way. I open up the case, and it's empty. And so I kind of giggled, and they're giggling, and I'm like, well, that's nice. They got me a case. So when I do get my guitar, I can get it. I mean, cases are, $80 plus, right? So I thought, well, that's really nice. So I opened the compartment of the guitar case, and inside is this little wooden toy guitar. And my father-in-law's like, play it. Go ahead and play it. That's why we got it for you. So I'm laughing, and they're laughing. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law has gone back down the hall, and as I look up, I put the toy guitar back in the compartment, close it up, close the case, look up, and here comes my mother-in-law with Al. And my heart really stopped then. And I was speechless. I'm still speechless. I will never, ever forget that Christmas, because it's the greatest gift I've ever gotten. Besides my kids, it is the greatest gift that I've ever gotten, and it's the gift that continues to give more than I ever could have expected. So I get this guitar. It's just beautiful. My father-in-law had got it from an auction. I still to this day do not know how much he paid for it. I don't care. I don't want to know. All I know was it was in wonderful shape. He made a very, very good buy. Absolutely. And I absolutely am a fan, and I am a fan of Alvarez guitars. So, however, that day, there was no tuner. I think I had a couple picks they got me. Shauna had bought me a couple books to learn how to play. So I'm sitting there Christmas Day, holding it, looking through the books, just admiring it. I'll put it back in the case, close the case, open it up later, look at it, hold it. I couldn't play it. And of course, at Christmas time, stores aren't open for a couple days. So, and at that time, it wasn't like you order on Amazon and it's there the next day, right? So it wasn't until the end of the week before I got my tuner and started to be able to, work at learning how to play. But this guy will forever be in my collection, even if there's a day. I pray there's never the day. But if there's ever a day where I just don't play anymore, Al will be in the house. Al will always be in the house. Even if he's just hanging on a wall, he will always be there because of those memories and because of the sentimental value attached to him. And even if I was, if I had a collection of more guitars down the road, if I ever sell a guitar, it's never going to be Al. This one is there forever. And this was the one I learned on. This was the one that has brought me so many memories. This one was the one that, I used when I was first getting out there to do gigs. He's always been there. So, and I have my in-laws to thank for that, without a doubt. So anyway, that's my first story of my Alvarez guitar. I will toss out another one in a day or two.